little bit of leather and a little bit of lace. My oh my mother had a pretty face. My mother was a goddess. She was a pagan. My dad, he was from the stars. He left his face a calling call on a planet Mars.
Tibock.
Hey, Dad.
You know where we are now?
Chiller Theater?
Chiller Theater. What year?
2006.
What season?
Fall.
Halloween weekend.
Yep.
So here we are at Chiller Theater. Hopefully we're going to pull some interviews. I'm not sure. It's usually going to get very crowded.
Oh, definitely.
You know. But I do think we met somebody named Rylan who was talking to us about unusual clothing.
Yes.
He had the devil in mind.
Evil brand clothing.
Yeah, he had clothing on the way to
Hell.
hell. Yeah, hell. And I got to wash your mouth out for soap for saying that word, you know. No, I guess, all right, it's not a dirty word. It's the name of a place. So here I am in Chiller. This is the lower bottom floor of Chiller, and we are in a wing of Chiller that has very interesting things. I'm fully dressed, so I don't need any other clothes. But my friend here, Rylan, has clothes.
We have lots of clothes.
You have lots of clothes. And you're from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. So you're home.
I'm home, for what that's worth.
Right. And what do you have here in the way of clothes?
We have the perfect things to wear on the road to hell.
On the road to hell.
Yeah, we're going to make sure you look good or look sexy, whatever you want.
Okay. So the devil will like you.
The devil will care.
All right. Who got this great idea?
Myself, I'm the evil overlord of the corporation, and my partner, the chief evil officer, came up with it together.
All righty. And is your first chiller?
It's my first chiller.
Your first chiller as a vendor?
As a vendor.
But not a first chiller?
My first chiller.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I'm
in
a
for it.
virgin.
Well, wait till you see tomorrow night when they play music.
I can't wait.
It's going to be wild. Okay, talk to me. I'm looking at around me. I see you got the man himself.
Well, that's Big Red.
Big Red.
Big Red.
Big Red, not a drink.
No, Big Red is he's our guide, he's our conscience, he keeps us on the right track.
I see he's winking.
He's devilish.
Yeah, he knows what's going on.
Big Red's devilish, he knows how to have a good time.
All right. And so what kind of clothes you got? What do we got?
We got a Dickies work shirt for guys, we have a ringer, a logo shirt. This sexy little number up here, the Devil Doll, she's our mascot. We're going to have a lot of Devil Dolls walking around here this weekend looking hot. Over here, we got the MILF shirt. This is for the moms I'd like to Got your wife beater. Can always get you in trouble. I think it pays to advertise.
OJ didn't want that one.
And our logo shirt for the ladies.
Okay, okay. So, and I see you even got a pitchfork over here.
Well, that's for our Devil Dolls that'll be here this weekend.
All righty. And on the table you've got some, I guess, were they handouts?
Yeah, this is all handouts. Got stickers of our logo with Big Red on them. And some bags, postcards.
So now I know that I can get clothes so I can be well dressed on the way to hell.
You can look good on the road to hell.
All right. You know where I suggest you take some of this stuff?
Where's that?
To Family Court. Right outside.
We will. I'm going to start advertising in the Christian bookstores.
I like that. I like that, you know.
You got to play both angles.
Yeah, you'll get that. You get some pagans and yeah, you might even find some former Republicans that might be interested.
You know, it doesn't matter what you're into. You still got to look good, and we got it.
You got to, yeah. So I guess when you're traveling your path on the way to hell, style is everything.
It's going to get you the best seat in the house.
You got that? All right. Live on the way to hell with Zenbock's Forte. All right, Zenbock here. I'm at another table at Chiller Theater. Again, to remind you, because I got to remember, this is fall, Halloween weekend of the year 2006. And I'm Zenbock, and I'm with Jeff Gaithier. And Jeff, here we are, Chiller. Talk to me. What have you been doing here?
This is my first year, actually.
A
And,
Chiller version?
yeah, first year here, period, for the show, everything. And as you can see, I've done, this year's poster, and they called me up and asked me to be a guest, and I thought, great, I'll bring a few things.
Okay, we're going to start off with, they called you to be a guest and do a poster.
Yep,
So that means they had to have known about you.
probably.
All right, what would you have done that they would have known?
I've done like about approximately 400 CD covers, a few hundred posters. I've worked for Ed Big Daddy Ross for about 5 years. Done lots of shirts and just tons and tons of stuff.
All right, so you have a history, and the guys here in New Jersey knew about you, and you got the honor, which it is, to do the poster.
I agree.
Yeah, it is an honor, You're going to be handed out to everybody that walks in here. And I didn't get the Chiller website. You might probably be on that, too.
Yeah, I think I am on there. And
Yeah.
I don't know if the poster's on there yet or not.
All right. Now, I'm looking at a card in front of me, and I love the colors here. I'm seeing a lot of green, nice use of red, and very interesting in here. But the key thing here I'm getting at is www.jeffgaithier.com. Here, I'll put that little graphic here for information purposes. What's the website?
Basically, it's a gallery of all of my art. You can see, I'd say, it's probably about 600 or 700 pages of my art. I've got sections on CDs, posters, shirts, where people have done tattoos of art from all over the world, movie posters, and on the front of the site, I basically keep it updated so people know what I'm going to do and where I'm going to be at and all that good stuff.
Okay, so the site is a good information of getting an idea of the kind of work you're doing.
Yeah, an OD of it.
OD, I like it. This place, we love the OD. What got you into art? When did you start this?
Oh, I've been drawing all my life, actually, and I would think that the big part of it would be like when my aunt used to take me to see Night of the Living Dead and what is the other one, Astro Zombies. It was like at the drive-in and stuff, and she used to bring me Famous Monsters. And, of course, both my aunt and my mom were into
Astro
art.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a fellow named Ted on the show. I think he produced that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Crazy movie.
Yeah, I may have been getting it wrong, but I know we had the producer on the show that, Astro Zombies. Interesting. Well, you'll run into all those people here.
Good.
I
I look forward to it.
All right, so you have an early fascination with horror, and I see more horror here than sci-fi. So I take it horror is more your,
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I deal in.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of everything, but horror is like the main thing.
It's funny because we also do sci-fi conventions, and some of the sci-fi fans don't splash the horror, but horror does splash into sci-fi a lot.
It's the horror element, I guess. I really don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like a cross film would be something like Aliens.
Or Life Force.
Yeah. As compared to a pure horror film like Night of the Living Dead. So all right. Well, I'm not going to take up much of your time. There's going to be a line out the door.
Good.
Coming to see you and see your artwork, and hear about what you're doing, and make your trip into New Jersey well worth your time and efforts here.
Well, thank you.
You're in the right place.
Thank you.
On the right weekend.
Great.
That's live on Zenbock's Forte, talking about horror. Well, here we are at Chiller Theater in a corner with a whole bunch of faces. I'm Zenbock, and you are?
I'm Norman Bryn.
Norman, this is interesting to see you here. We passed you in past Chillers, and didn't get a chance to say hello, actually.
Yes, I've noticed you guys.
Yeah, and now I'm getting a good look at the work you got. And the first impression I had was face casting of people that aren't alive.
Yeah, that is a common mistake. I'm a special effects makeup artist and a beauty makeup artist as well. And some years ago I decided I would like to enter the memorabilia industry. But I would only choose to make something that I would buy myself. And I'm pretty picky about what I buy. And since I'm a special effects sculptor, I was able to sculpt freehand all the characters you see. There are no life casts involved here at all. And frequently people assume that these are life casts, and I put as much detail in them as I would for a motion picture project.
Now, that just amazes me that you can work from a photograph.
Yeah.
So you get a library of photographs?
Yeah, that's really the biggest job, getting as many photos, especially profiles. It's very difficult to make sense of an 8x10 glamour shot
Right.
unless you have a profile, both sides, to back it up and see what you've got. Those are the hardest to find, good profiles.
Yeah, well, profiles usually take out blems and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but
That's the character.
it's very hard to interpret what you're looking at from the front unless you have the side.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I feel like I really got a whole bunch of people behind me.
Yeah, I like diverse. I like the Universal stuff. I like the Hammer remakes.
Yeah.
Very much so. I'm going to add some women to the line soon. Some of the Italian starlets, some of the Hammer girls, possibly. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on the demand.
Yeah. Well, I see a lot of the classic, the Henry Hull.
No, that's Oliver Reed.
Oliver Reed?
Yes.
Really?
You're mixing up your werewolves.
I am mixing up because I remember the early Henry Hull had the,
Well, actually, there are similarities between what Henry Hull wore and what Oliver Reed wore.
See, it was the makeup that got me because it certainly wasn't the Lon Chaney werewolf.
No, no. But
So-
you're right. There are similarities between the two.
Yeah. And
They both used more of the actor.
yeah, they didn't hide the whole face and
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I mean, in the case of Henry Hull, he insisted, and Oliver Reed just did what he was given. And I think Roy Ashton, the Hammer makeup artist, had I think he was influenced heavily by Werewolf of London and thought to use more of the actor's face.
Yeah, no, I love that. Now I gotta have to go check out the film.
Oh, it's a wonderful film.
Yeah.
It's still one of the 3 classic werewolf pictures. But I mean, he said to the Hammer producers that Oliver Reed already looks like a wolf. And I think there is your takeoff. I think there's where his makeup plan came into being. He didn't intend to bury him.
Absolutely. So, Vincent Price.
Vincent Price is the Red Death. That's one of my favorites, personally.
All right. And over here.
Christopher Lee from The Curse of Frankenstein.
Wow, what a difference in look in Christopher Lee and the.
These are very limited, by the way. There will only be 100 of each of these ever. Only 100. So they're very collectible. They're all numbered and signed, and you get a certificate with them. But that's all there's ever going to be, 100 of each. Anything else would bore me to tears.
Well, yeah, but the painting is incredible.
Yeah, that's all hand. That's all by oil paint. And I don't use airbrushes. Everything is done literally by hand. And I'm a portrait painter as well. These are illustrations that I've done for DVD boxes and magazines like Little Shop of Horrors. I do back covers for that publication. And those also are in oil. So oil to me, as paint, is like a grease paint makeup.
Okay.
You know, you lay on the foundation,
Right.
and you work in the shadows and the highlights just as I would on a makeup job.
Right.
And it's the same thing.
So how does one branch in the FX makeup from the face makeup to the sculpturing? It sounds like to me almost 2 different art forms.
Well, I mean, I started as a effects person. When I went to Los Angeles to be a regular motion picture student in 1976, I met William Tuttle at the University of Southern California, and he taught me beauty makeup. He looked at my portfolio and said, you know, you do very nice character work, but you need to know flesh tones. You need to do beauty makeup on men and women. And like a lot of people entering the field, I said, that's boring. I don't want to do that. And he said, you want to eat, kid? You'll do it. And he taught me to appreciate beauty makeup, glamour makeup on women. He also was developing at that time his own line of makeup, which I still use today and is still widely in use in the film and television industry. And I realized that not only was I a better all-around makeup artist, but I was also a better special effects makeup artist because I knew my flesh tones.
Right.
You don't get to paint guys gray very often in this business.
Right.
And today, when I do makeup for films, I often do old age, where you really must know your flesh tones. You know, you can do great prosthetics. You can be a fabulous sculptor, a fabulous lab man, and come up with great pieces. But once you glue those on and blend them in, you got to put the grease paint on,
Right.
and then you got to paint it.
Right.
And then you better know what you're doing with makeup.
Yeah, it's interesting from my perspective with the photography. Everything is a reflection off of what's made. So the idea is to see it right on camera.
Yeah.
It has to reflect correctly back. And then for that reason, and this is your art form and not mine, there's a matter of being able to either use an under makeup to highlight in a layer of makeup.
Yeah, that's true in both fashion and character makeup.
Yeah. And then there's this highlighting of parts of the body to accentuate a certain feature that may or may not, because of lighting, be there. I mean, that's a whole art form to make it look right.
Yeah, and times are changing. There are new materials that are being introduced as high-definition video becomes more and more the norm.
Right.
And sometimes the old grease paint techniques don't hold up under scrutiny.
It's too flat.
Well, too flat. It's not translucent enough. So now we're entering into more often than not, we're making prosthetics not out of foam rubber or latex rubber, but gelatin and medical silicone.
Really?
And oh yes,
Oh, it's
and
new to me.
the advantage of those is that you can produce smaller prosthetics, for example, scars, noses, small ones, much quicker that way. You don't have to bake them like you do foam rubber for 4 to 5 hours at a time. It's very hard on the molds.
Right.
But you can paint them with skin illustrator palettes that use alcohol as a medium. And more and more they're getting away from the traditional grease paints and whatnot. And sometimes you don't even use foundation. You'll go in and you'll do a wound just with the translucency of the gelatin appliance or the silicone, and just add some reds, some browns, some spots,
Right.
And that's it. You won't do a traditional makeup on them anymore. So things are changing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And also, I got to mention, because I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but these are not a one-dimensional look. I mean, I can walk and catch angles, and it's that realism in the contrasting colors and shadows follow all the way around the piece.
Well, there's a lot in a face besides just a flesh tone. A flesh tone is made up of reds, purples, greens, yellows, so many colors. And as an oil portrait artist, you know that. And you also know that as a makeup artist, what you've got to bring out, what you've got to put in, especially since these are flat. They're not translucent.
Right.
There isn't light passing through them. So really these are, to my mind anyway, three-dimensional oil portraits. Because, of course, an oil portrait is flat, too,
Right.
in more ways than one. It's not three-dimensional, and you're creating the illusion of 3 dimensions when you paint in oil. And you're just doing that on top of an actual 3-dimensional surface here. But the rules still apply. The colors are all there, and it's a great variance.
So, all I learned about makeup in the past was this Main-on cake cream makeup, which gave you one color everywhere.
Mayron. Well, that's a foundation. That's,
Yeah.
A foundation is one color. But you work off different palettes and add all the other stuff.
They never taught me that.
Oh, well, it's the same thing with these. I mean, I start with a base color on Boris Karloff, and he has a very specific base color because he was Anglo-Indian, as we now know, and he had what everybody thought was a very dark Hollywood tan, but actually this was his normal skin color. And when they put makeup on top of him, they actually made him paler. They blended off his deep tan. But to get this properly, I have to have grays, purples, yellows to add to the base makeup color. So that's like foundation, really. And then you add on top everything. It's the same thing.
Wow. Well, I appreciate your time
That's very
and the
good
education I've got.
Very good to talk to you.
All righty. And you've heard it live on Zenbock's Forte at Chiller Theater.
Hey, Dad, what's going on?
I'm walking around Chiller Theater. I'm looking for babes. I don't see any babes. I don't know.
No, I think I might know you from somewhere.
Not yet.
I'm looking for some celebrities. I don't see any celebrities. But I'm here.
So
It's a
am
little
I.
early. It's a little early.
All these good things.
Yeah. So, should we explain why we're not the usual look?
Sure, why not?
We got drafted. And we have to get the ship running. But we got drafted. So we're part of another ship's crew at times. And so we've been asked to stay in uniform.
We can be called at duty anytime.
That's right. That's right. So, we're not involved with any wars on Earth, so that's cool. We're not in any politics.
Not on Earth, anyway.
No Earth politics, no. No Earth politics. But we are involved in having fun at conventions.
That's right.
So maybe I'll interview you.
Nah, I'm good with that.
How long have you been doing this?
For a very long time.
Did you start this when you were 7 years old? Right, yay high?
I was about 6.
You were about 6 years old when you started doing television, huh?
How old were you?
How old was I? Which you want my real age?
Let's see your
older
real
than
age.
you.
Your real age had to have been about what? 100 and
something like that. Very good. I'm over 100. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. So you know.
Oh, you want to tell me the exact age of 100?
No, I'm not. I'm not, because the show has my name on it, not yours. So I don't do that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, now who was your first interview?
Lee Merriweather.
Lee Merriweather. And what hotel?
This hotel.
About 1997.
Yes.
Okay, so you've been in and out of this hotel in 1997. So you own this hotel.
Not quite.
What do you mean you don't own this? I own this hotel. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I know all the secrets, the spaces between the doors in there and behind the elevator and all the cool spots here. People don't get to see that stuff.
I bet they don't.
Oh, they don't. They don't. Even the food is good. And it's where the hidden coffee pots are. That's my favorite thing. Anyway, we're here at Chiller Theater. And it says Happy Halloween, so it's Halloween. Chiller doesn't have to say Halloween on Halloween.
No, it doesn't.
Even in spring, it's Halloween around here.
That's very
It's
true.
always Halloween.
Always.
Always. So, before we disappear, should we introduce a band?
Yeah, let's introduce a
Let's
band.
introduce. Hold on now. I have my magic list of bands. We could do this one, or we could do this one, or we could do this one. Let's do this one.
Okay.
Let's do the. Who's that?
Little Cliff and the Cliffhangers.
Little Cliff and the Cliffhangers, live from Cedar Beach, and that's fall of 2006. Thank you, Dr. Blues.
Get a little rockabilly groove on right now and do an old Joe Hill Williams. We're going to do a Joe Hill Lewis song right now. There's a guy who used to play at Maxwell Street Market in Chicago, a one-man band. We have the fortune of being able to do it with 4 pieces tonight. Well, we got that feel. King of the jungle, they call me the Tiger Man. King of the jungle, they call me the Tiger Man. You cross my path, baby, you got your whole life in your hands. Well, let me tell you, well, I head up on a mountain, and I put my big hand back. I head up on a mountain, and I told my big cat back. Well, the bad cat come running, and the hound dog lay way back. Let me tell you one thing. You know when the dark starts a-falling, that's the time I cry around. When the dark starts a-falling, that's the time I cry around. Well, I ain't jump back at it, run that hound dog out of town. baby, got your whole life in your hand.
I'm at Chiller Theater, and you are?
Evil Joey.
Evil, you look very familiar to me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I think I might know you from somewhere.
I got these vibes, and every time I get these vibes, I usually start running. Well, I'm a very old guy. Been around a long time, a couple 100 years old, Vulcan, you know.
Right, right.
You
No,
know.
I'm a vampire myself. So,
Really?
Yeah, so I've probably seen you around.
Okay. You're not feeding today. I got green blood, so you won't want it.
No.
No.
I stick with the humans.
No, okay, yeah. You have food time, huh? They're easy on the food chain, aren't they?
Very easy.
You know. So
So willing.
Yeah, well, I can imagine they would be willing. Easy to prey. You know. And they're like puppies too, huh?
I'm telling you, you
Yeah.
can make them do anything you want.
Are you a screamer?
Sometimes.
Scream queen almost. Okay. Well, let me tell you, I hear that tomorrow night, that is, there's going to be a party in a tent.
Oh, really?
You have a costume party where the humans dress up and pretend.
Imagine that.
What they don't know, sometimes the real thing enters in the crowd. As people start disappearing. That's what goes on in the tent. So you're gonna love this.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So you do look familiar to me.